everyone, my name is Christy, and this is my Pleasantview 10 years later. I treat one day in The Sims as about 1 year, and since I've played 10 days, it's been about 10 years in my game. The main map is looking a little snowy, but it is in fact the first day of spring for everyone. I will go in order of gameplay just to show you how everyone is doing right now. Currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 households in the rotation. So let's start with Don Lothario. It's just him by himself. He's living in the Pleasant Vista apartments, and I'll explain to you exactly what happened with him and why he's not living in his original house anymore. Okay, so here's Don. He is, like I mentioned, living at the Pleasant Vista Apartments because he did, in fact, get married to Cassandra Goth for a short time. He just couldn't help himself, though. He, did his thing, his romancing around town, and he got caught. He had Nina Caliente over, and well, they did stuff. Cassandra saw them, freaked out, and she couldn't forgive him, so she kicked him out, and this is where he is now. He does have a child with her. I'll show you his family tree. Alright, here are his loves. So he's still in love with Dina, Kaylin, Nina, enemies with Cassandra now, but he's got a thing going with Sandy Broody as well. But his family tree looks like this. So here's Edward Lothario, who he had with Cassandra. It's their only child. Edward was a baby when Don left the house, but he's a child now. He does also have a child with Dina. Her name is Gina, and I'll explain a little bit more about how that happened when I get to her household. But he also has a baby with Kaylin, named Kelly, who was just born very recently. So, yeah, Don has 3 kids with 3 different women. But there you have it. This is the life Don has been living in his little bachelor pad apartment. He's got those 4 loves, and his lifetime want is to have 20 simultaneous lovers, which is very Don of him. His job, he's level 5 in the medicine career as a resident. Very, very few times has he ever had any want to work on skills. He wants charisma right now, which has nothing to do with his job, but he still needs a little bit more if he wants to get promoted. Building a snowman up here, sure, why not? Yeah, so unfortunately, after divorcing Cassandra, she didn't leave him with anything because she was so angry with him. And he has had a lot of child support to pay. I do have that mod installed, so it doesn't help that he's also had the last 2 days off of work. He's down to 100 simoleons. So thank goodness he goes to work tonight, because otherwise he'd be in big trouble paying child support to 3 different kids, and now just about out of money. He currently has wants to make out with 5 different Sims, have a party, become best friends with Sandy, and I locked in the want to reach a charisma level 1, just because that might come in handy at some point. Don't go sit outside, like you're already getting cold. Just go inside. Here, have a seat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's some flowers, probably from Sandy. I think that was maybe one of his more recent dates. Or maybe it was from Kaylin. Let's go read it. Okay, yeah, this is from Sandy. So maybe I'll just put in his inventory. He has another one from another time. Oh, hope that cough does not mean he's getting sick. So there you have it. This is Don living the bachelor life that he's always wanted. He tried the marriage thing, didn't work out for him. Oh yeah, and I forgot that I rewrote bios for each family, and so this is what I wrote for Don. It says, Don tried settling down with the town's rich girl, but even money couldn't convince him to stay faithful. On his own again, Don is always on the prowl, looking for his next hot date. Okay, so next is the Caliente family. Their new bio says, the Caliente sisters have settled into their new home in Pleasantview. Will they be able to find suitable father figures for their children, or are they just going to have to team up to raise these kids together? So, as you can see, Dina and Nina. Dina and Nina are here, and they both have children of their own now. You can see little Gina in the yellow dress belongs to Dina, and the little boy, oh my gosh, what's his name again? Aaron. Aaron is Nina's child. So for some reason, Aaron is on the floor. We're gonna pick him up. So here's Nina. She has her little boy here, who she recently had with Daniel. She's in love with Daniel. She's still in love with Dawn. She's also had a thing with Joe Carr. But that's it so far for her. You can see in the family tree here, there's Nina, here's Aaron, and then there's Daniel. Alright, so they recently they had a date, they did their thing, and well, it produced a baby, so that's where we're at right now. Over here we have Dina, and she's doing some play dancing with her little girl Gina. And as I mentioned before, Gina is the daughter of Don Lothario. And so the thing with Dina and Gina is that Dina had a want to have a baby randomly. And it was kind of interesting because she had the want to have a baby, and so I'd locked that in because I thought, okay, maybe she can have a baby with like either Don or maybe with Mortimer because she still has love for him. But I kind of sat on it. Then she rolled a want to invite Dawn over, and I thought, oh my goodness, is this her telling me she wants a baby with Dawn? So I invited him over, and they tried for baby, and sure enough, it worked. And Dina got pregnant and had Gina. So they do still live in their original house. I haven't really done any updating. I've only added a few things like the computer, chessboard for like work stuff. Still got birthday party stuff and pizza out from the night before because they had a little party for Gina. She just aged up to a child. Why don't you feed your baby? Yeah. So Nina is currently working in the Slacker career as a convenience store clerk. This was just a want that she had to get a job in the Slacker career. So that's where we're at right now. She doesn't usually roll wants to work on skills, which I guess is why she's only in level 3. She still needs charisma at the moment, so may or may not happen. We'll see. Oh my gosh, pizza just went bad. The flies are crazy. Yeah, so like I mentioned, she loves Don, loves Daniel. They've been on a couple dates. She got pregnant. She also has had a thing with Joe. She's seen him a couple times, and they've had a good thing going. And they have 2 bolts together. Oh, okay. Jeez. Okay, so Dina went to work. I missed it. Gina went to school. But Dina is in the law career. She's level 3 legal secretary. She had a little bit of bad luck with jobs. She did have a different job, but got a chance card, got a bad chance card, and got fired from it. But she did get this job, and she's been pretty good about wanting skills, wanting friends, and improving in her career. So right now she wants a cleaning point. She just wants to go on a vacation, but I don't know. Big maybe, big maybe. Yeah, Gina only just aged up to a child, so she still only has a C in school. There's been no opportunity to improve her grades yet. There Nina goes, being the queen one that she is. I think we did end up hiring a maid after all, because having the kids and having baby, it was just like, it was too much. It was getting a little chaotic. So we just needed that little bit of extra help. Yeah, looks like she's still cleaning. We have a maid. You don't have to do this. It is going to start getting a little cramped in here now, having the 2 kids. So there's a chance that I may move them out into another house, but they don't have a lot of money. It says $26,000 for the house, but then they've only got like $2.5K. So we'll have to figure out something to maybe get them in a bigger place, something that's a little bit more suitable for this family, these 2 sisters with their kids. And they may, Dina may get married eventually. She has not had any wants to get engaged or get married to anyone, so that may or may not ever happen. I mean, Nina certainly won't. But stranger things have happened. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this family. Things are moving along, and there's Maid Remington. Thank you very much, sir. And let me get yourself some breakfast. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with these ladies and these kids, because it would be nice, I don't know, to have them in a nicer place, or possibly get married. I mean, who knows? Maybe more kids in the future. Also very possible, right? Yeah. So I think that's it for this family. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next family we're going to visit is the Goth family, and their new bio says Bella has returned to live at the Goth mansion, and it's as if she never left. Cassandra, however, has been left raising the son of the town Casanova after a failed marriage. Now she thinks she's found the one. Will this next relationship last? So as you can see, we've got Bella here and Mortimer, who is quite old. I have to check to see exactly where he's at, but he's getting close to being the end. Here's Cassandra, here's Alexander, who's a teen now, and then little Edward here, who's a child. Alright, so here's the Goth family. Here's Cassandra doing some cleaning up. So, as I mentioned before, she did marry Don Lothario, but it did not work out because he's a cheater and can't help himself. So she kicked him out. They're enemies now. There they go. And so we've got Cassandra, their son Edward. Here's Mortimer. He's currently 65 days old, and he's getting up there. He's inching up towards the end of his life. He's been pretty good. He currently he has the lifetime want to max out 7 skills. He's there on 2 of them. So he's very nearly there, at least on cooking. But unless he starts really working really hard, I don't think he's quite going to reach that. So that's a little bit sad. He is technically a retired mad scientist, but he really wants to get a job, so I got him another job in the science career. Oh no, there's John Burb. I know what that means. Oh, Alexander wants to get jobs. Well, that's not good. That is not good to be fighting with John, because he's in a relationship with Lucy Burb, and that's her dad. So we don't want to be mad at his dad. So I mean, I'm not going to save any of this. This is just me showing everyone what they've been up to, just a little bit of gameplay to see what their lives have been like. But yeah, I was just talking about Mortimer. He loves playing the piano, so I mean, like you can keep doing that. He's 7 points in creativity. Edward is just standing here. Maybe he was listening like dance. Can you muscle dance to the piano? I never noticed that before. That's hilarious. Oh, and now Bella has joined. But yeah, here's Bella. I did end up making her an elder. I have the queen version of Pleasantview, so she is in the game, out there, but not in the household right away. I did end up inviting her to move in with the family. I didn't force them to get remarried, especially because Bella is a romance sim, and I didn't want her to have like a negative memory of her getting engaged or getting married. But I mean, she's here, and she doesn't roll too many romance wants, like with other people. Like every once in a while, she might get something, but she's pretty happy here. I think the memories are flooding back for her about living at the Goth Mansion and having her children. And now she has a grandchild, which is very nice, very exciting. Well, it looks like the kids went to school and I missed that. Alexander, who's now at school, he became a knowledge sim when he aged up. As I mentioned, he is in a relationship with Lucy Burb. He's an A+ student because he always does his homework. He's a very studious kid. He's also friends with Chandler Platts, which is technically a child at the beginning of the game. But when Alexander aged up, it asked me if there were any other Sims I wanted to age up to, and since they were friends as children, I decided to age up Chandler as well. So that's why he's a teen now. Doesn't really have any other relationships. He knows who Bo Broke is, but doesn't really know anyone else right now. Bella has the want to become a celebrity chef, but honestly, like, there just hasn't been enough time to pursue anything like that for her. She came into the house being in the slacker career as a gas attendant, but honestly, like, I just ended up retiring her because she lives at the Goth Mansion now. She doesn't need a job. She's good. She's set. So she doesn't work anymore. She's just doing her thing, being a grandma. She has quite a bit of hobby enthusiasm and tinkering. Got a couple things here so she can dabble in her tinkering. And let's see, I've received 200 simoleons from Lothario for child support. Poor Dawn. Okay, sir, you need to take care of your needs. Stop playing the piano, please. I haven't really done any renovations. This is pretty nice on its own. It's classic, it's... I feel bad changing things too much from the original game. I kind of just like how it is, usually. I don't really change too much. Edward's bedroom got just a couple little updates. I gave him a desk for his homework. Still has the toys that were originally in there for Alexander, which reminds me, I built a little sort of loft bedroom for Alexander here because, lovely, we've got some fashion blue stuff. Yeah, this is Alexander's sort of little loft bedroom here. It wasn't being used. This was an empty space before, like an attic space, I guess you could say. And so I decided to give this space to him. He's a teen now and could use his own space up here. We still have the telescope. Mortimer's giving tips to share hobby tips. He's so knowledgeable in the piano now. So she's only got 2. I might retire Warner at some point soon. He did reach the top of his elder career track as a level 3 lab assistant. And like I said, he's getting quite old. Maybe, just maybe, we can get some other skills here maxed for him before he kicks the bucket. One other thing that I should mention, something that got mentioned in the bio, the one. So, Cassandra obviously kicked out Dawn and she was distraught. She was alone and sad, but then she met Benjamin Long. And she fell for him. They started a romance together, and they've hit it off quite well. And recently she proposed to him, so they are engaged right now. So I'm thinking that the next time we see this family, we will most likely have a wedding, which is really exciting. And knowing Cassandra, being the family sim that she is, she's going to want to have a baby. So that's something else to look forward to, that she's most likely going to have another baby at some point with Benjamin. So it'll be interesting to get a townie involved. This is, the first time that we've had somebody join in, I guess other than Keelan, which we'll talk about later. Benjamin will be the first townie to sort of join in regular gameplay and move in with the family. So I guess that's it for this family for now. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next we have the Dreamer family, which should really say Dreamer Broke family, because now it's Darren and Brandy together, and their bio says, in the darkness of losing a spouse, Darren found Brandy in the light. This blended home is thriving, including the addition of their own little girl they share together. So we have Darren, Brandy, Beau, unborn baby Broke, which ended up being a little girl I named Betty. And then we have the girl that they have together. Her name is Esra. And this is, I did a little research because I wanted to come up with a name that kind of went with like dream or, wishes or, something along those lines. And so Esra, I have to check again exactly the origin, but it means to dream. So I thought that was pretty fitting or pretty suited for the Dreamer family. There she is jumping on the bed. She looks just like Darren. Let's pause for a second and get a little bit of a closer look. Pretty much a mini Darren. She does have gray eyes though, which comes from Brandy. Darren has blue eyes, but she's got the dark skin tone, dark hair, and that's their little girl they have together. Here is Betty, unborn baby Broke. Since I have the clean version, this baby was not a clone of Brandy, and she ended up getting some genetics from her dad, Skip, who was long gone. But that's Betty. I named her after Brandy's mother, so I know that a common name for the unborn baby Broke is Bobby, but since this ended up being a girl, I named her Betty. And she's a little blondie with blue eyes, so she looks a lot like her brothers. She's very cute, she's very pretty, very sweet. These two love to paint. Darren, of course, his dream is to be a painter. I used the Sim Blender to change his one true hobby. It was something else before, but we know that, the lore is that he wants to be a painter, so I changed it. He's quite high in enthusiasm. He's almost maxed it out. The kids want to hang out. Even Brandy, who originally came with arts and crafts as her main one true hobby. She's got some wants to need some skills, which is cool. She wants to flirt. She wants to meet some. Very cute, very sweet moments here. Let's go check out Beau. So here's Beau. He's a teen now. You'll notice that Dustin and Dirk are no longer here. They just went to university very recently, so we're going to go check them out a little later. But here's Bo. He became a family sim when he aged up, and he's taking out trash right now. Thank you very much, sir. This family does not have a maid because neither of the parents are working, neither of them have jobs, and they're doing okay for money now only because they combined their money. Like when Brandy moved in, she came in with a bunch of money from selling her little trailer, and so they're okay for money, but they don't have jobs. So we got to be either really careful. Darren has to do a really good job with his painting, or maybe someday they'll roll wants for jobs. Who knows? Getting greeted by the hobby person. No, thank you. We can leave now. I still got a bottle on the floor. I mean, Esther did just age up last night in this game, in this household. Oh, that's so cute. But we just gave Darren a family kiss. It's so sweet. He's the only father she's ever known, so that's very nice. Looks like they're gonna go play catch. They do have to go to school soon. So the thing with Darren is that obviously he's married to Brandy, he loves her, you know, they have a great life together here, but he is technically still in love with Cassandra. Nothing has ever happened between them. They never did anything, so it's still like that one-sided love that the game sort of starts or comes with. It's just here's the school bus. Oh, they have the same auto there. Yeah, so nothing ever happened with Darren and Cassandra. I'm worried that one day something might, like if they're on a community lot and they try something, that would be really bad. Brandy just has love for Darren. She wanted to get married, she wanted to flirt, she had all those wants, and they met pretty much on the first day of playing the Broke Family. I think that they just like autonomously started flirting and having romantic interactions, which was kind of cool because this is just a common pairing, and I thought, yeah, I'll just go with it. Look at that, she just rolled a want to get a job. Wow, that's amazing. So she doesn't have any other like romantic relationships. Just her family and her kids. She's best friends with Dina, but that's pretty much it. She doesn't have any other relationships, any lasting relationships or friendships. Bo doesn't have any romantic interests yet. He just aged up to a teen. I haven't figured out who I'd like to pair him with yet. He has chemistry where his turn-ons are underwear and swimwear, and great cook. So we'll see. We'll see. There aren't any other teen girls that are playable at the moment, so he may just end up with like a townie teen as his first sort of relationship. But if not, there's always university, right? These guys doing their dumb little cheesy romantic interactions. But they're autonomously cleaning up, which is wonderful because their house is kind of a mess. We've got rotting cakes, rotting pizza box, and the salsa music, the classic salsa music. I did have to do a little bit of renovating on their house because there was a time where they had the 5 kids, and it was a little chaotic to try and fit 7 people into this house. So I made this downstairs into 2 little bedrooms. I had to make the living space a little bit smaller. I, had to convert a little bit of, the loft and art space and cram it into this little corner here, so that we could fit more children, more bedrooms. I gave them this additional bathroom over here because they really needed it. But now that the older boys are gone, I'm probably gonna Well, the kids will be able to have their own rooms because they were a couple that were sharing at one point. Um, but now we won't need to do that. So we'll see. We might make like one of these rooms like a hobby room and one is a bedroom or um, something like that. We'll see. And I mean, who knows? Like Brandy still has a lot of time in her life. Like she may have another baby. Knowing her being a family sim, it's very possible that she may will want to have baby or autonomously try for baby. Because that is the thing with ACR. It happens. You don't mean for it to happen, and it just happens. So that could make things really interesting if they do have another baby. Darren is a bit older. He's only 7 days away from growing to an elder, so if they did have another baby, like he would be an older dad. And that would be kind of crazy for them to have another baby if you think about it, because they have kids in university, so that's a really wide range of ages for their children. But it happens, and that makes for some interesting gameplay, right? So, Granny is living her nice lazy life here at home. And they did do a lot of cleaning, but there's still more to be done. Like this toilet's disgusting. Washroom surely could be cleaned as well, so maybe I'll send her to go do that now. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else super important to mention. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this family and see how it progresses, see if we get any new additions, and what other relationships get formed, right? So, yeah, let's move on to the next family. Alright, so next we have the Pleasant family, which is now just Daniel and Mary Sue. The two girls have gone off to college now. Their new bio says Mary Sue is thriving in her career, Daniel fired from his job, but still successful at his love life, while his wife is none the wiser. Now empty nesters, will this couple stay together or fall apart? So here are the Pleasants. Daniel, as I mentioned in the bio, he's unemployed because he lost his job and got a bad chance card and was fired. So, and he never rolled any other wants to get a job, so he's just stayed unemployed, just doing his thing, doing the romance thing as they generally tend to do. He loves his wife. He gets along great with her. She's never caught him cheating, which is kind of a miracle. But he does also have love for Nina. He still has love for Kaylin, even though they had a little bit of a falling out. He hasn't really had any luck with anyone else, which is kind of odd. He has certainly had wants to, woohoo with multiple Sims and get with multiple Sims, but for one reason or another, it just hasn't really worked out. So it's really just been those three. The weird or interesting thing is that Kaylin got mad at Daniel for having romantic interactions with his wife, so she became furious with him. They had their falling out. He technically still loves her, but I don't think she has any feelings for him. So I wonder what would happen if I gave them the opportunity to chat or hang out, if they would autonomously do any um, romantic interactions because he still has feelings for her. Mary Sue is still in the politics career. She's managed to get herself up to level 4. She does often roll wants to get skills and friends for her career, but it's been a little slow going for one reason or another. See, like they're making out right now. They're definitely in love with each other, and she's, I guess, just been so preoccupied with her work that she's just completely oblivious and has never seen him do anything with Nina. He's been on dates with her. Um, you know, he's had his thing with Kaylin, but she never got away of catching him. Well, I downloaded a mod for more lifetime wants and stuff, and it looks like her lifetime want re-rolled because this is not what she had originally. Um, I believe I had changed it. I had used this thingy over here to change her lifetime want so that it matched her career. So I'll have to fix that later. Um, Daniel, repair 200 objects. See, that's actually pretty good for him because his one true hobby is tinkering, and he's been unemployed. He's actually getting pretty close to aging up to an elder, but I mean, I don't know, but being unemployed, it's definitely possible. I wish he had rolled once to get a job because I mean, their money isn't bad, but it's definitely chipping away here. Like they could really use some money. They've got a big house. Their bills are a little bit on the higher side because of it, um, and so yeah, it would have been really handy if he had a job, but he just hasn't wanted it, and so he just never did it. He has wants to like meet someone new, invite someone over. Um, so he's doing some cleaning up, which is very nice. They do still have a maid, but since Kaylin is no longer uh, a maid, they have somebody else that comes in and does the cleaning up at their house. Yeah, Um, so of course he has his two daughters with Mary Sue, Lilith, and Angela, but he does also have a son with Nina Caliente. They had an oopsie on their date once, and he's still an infant. He's still a baby. But that is another child that he has, and Mary Sue has no idea. I don't know when or if she'll ever find out, if she'll ever notice child support going out, because that's definitely a possibility that they'll run out of money, and maybe I might just have to force him to get a job at that point. Um, he could make a little bit of money repairing the no. It's repaired 200 objects, like literally anything. He literally just fixed the shower. It could be anything. I could make him tinker with everything, try to break it, and and then try to repair it. He does have high mechanical. Well, he has 6 mechanical. He could use some work on that, just to be better, and make sure that. Oh, did we call a repairman yesterday? We might have. I forgot about that. And now I don't know if he has anything to fix. He's going to charge us for nothing. Awesome. Great. Awesome. He's just going to walk through. Oh, the toilet? Oh, the toilet's clogged. Okay, good. Thank you. I wonder if that would have counted towards his 200, with the 200 objects. Probably, right? Um, but anywho, that's kind of what's been going on with them. The girls are gone. We'll go check them out a little later. And it's just these two. I had kind of hoped that maybe they would have another baby at some point, but I didn't want to like autonomously, or I didn't want to like purposely try for a baby. I just kind of hoped that it would accidentally happen, but it never did. So it is just the two of them. I guess it's still possible. Mary Sue's 6 days away. It's less likely that she will get pregnant at this point, but it's you never know. You never know, and that would make for some interesting gameplay because they're sort of like empty nesters now. Their daughters have grown and they've left the home. But if they went and had another baby, that would be a major curveball. Oh, there's Remington Harris again. He seems to have taken over a lot of Kaylin's jobs. um, so not as much drama as you might expect to see from this family. But I have a feeling something might happen, especially now that he has this other baby with Kaylin. He could get in trouble somehow. It could come out somehow, this other baby. All right, next we have the Burb family, and so their bio says, the growing Burb family is flourishing in Pleasantview. They live in a cozy home full of love, but some more space would be nice. So I have them living here at 95 Woodland Drive. They were in the bin originally, but this I felt was the best house suited for them. So we have Jennifer and John. Here's Lucy, who's now a teen, and then they also have two more children who I'm going to introduce you to now. Okay, so here we are in the household. John and Jennifer, Lucy, here we have Lily, their newer daughter that they had once I started playing. She ended up getting blonde hair, which is really interesting. And brown eyes. Blonde hair apparently comes from John's mother. She had blonde hair. And also, baby Levi ended up with blonde hair. So, really interesting that they both got that recessive gene, since both their parents. I mean, Jennifer has black hair, John has brown hair, and so does Lucy. But the kids both ended up with blonde hair and brown eyes. They're not clones. I made sure to, roll past fire, as it were, to make sure that we did not get two of the exact same kid. I was concerned when Levi was born, and I noticed that he was also blonde with brown hair, so I checked the stats, and they're all good. But yeah, that's, we have two extra kids than how we originally started. John is flirting with his wife. He loves his wife. He's currently in the education career. He's got all messed up. I downloaded that mod. I'm gonna have to fix it again. But he did have lifetime want of reaching the top of the education career, so I was able to get him in to that career track. So that's what he's been doing. He's currently a substitute teacher at level 3. Still needs a friend and a cleaning skill in order to. Oh my gosh, what are you guys doing? In order to be promoted. Jennifer is currently in the dance career. She kind of just had like a general want to get a job, and because they were quite broke at the time, I just put her in what was available. She currently has a lifetime want near the top of the entertainment career, but that's not really what I had in mind for her. She originally had probably the architecture career, which I kind of like for her, so there's a good chance that I will change that back. But yeah, she's only level 2 of the dancer career because she's been on maternity leave so much. It's like the kids. Oh no, this is John going to work. Okay, yeah, John's going to work now. He works during the day. Jennifer currently works in the evening, which kind of works out nicely for taking care of the kids or being home for the kids. There's someone always home with them. But I don't think she'll stay in this career very long. She does have 8 vacation days because of maternity leave, and I've been tempted to just let her play that out. But she's fortune sim. She wants to advance in her career and make money. So I think once Levi is going to school, I'm going to get her a better job, something that she's going to enjoy more. Oh, it's so cute. Jennifer has a bit of music and dance enthusiasm, which is her one true hobby. John's one true hobby is. I thought John's one true hobby was nature, and I'm not seeing it lit up now, so I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. Lucy, she was gonna give Levi a bath. That's very sweet, but she's gonna go to school now, and she is interested in film and literature, so she likes watching movies, she likes reading books, all that kind of stuff. She's currently in a relationship with Alexander Goth, which I mentioned before. They've known each other since they were kids, and then once they became teens, they started, you know, having the romantic interactions. And it first started when they were on the community lot, the Teen Spot Interactive, and so that's kind of where it began. Oh, and here's the potty, and he's potty trained, so he's gonna go do the honestly perfect. Good job, buddy. Okay, we kind of missed looking at Lucy some more, but she's a child, quite newly a child. Um, she's, you know, a kid. She's sweet as can be. Still just a C student though, because I think she did do her homework. So I'm not seeing it on the table here, but she's only been once, right? So not much chance to work on that yet. Jennifer is financial consulting. Cool. Okay. Here with John. That's so cute. Yeah, we'll see. Jennifer is most likely not going to stay in that career, but she's home for now because we've got little Levi here. We can't be alone, and don't want to keep babysitting if we don't have to. It looks like he's looking for some attention. I think is he? Hold on. Yeah, he's very outgoing, so he's often going to somebody for attention, which is really cute, really sweet. What's he asking for? Just ask for attention, so maybe just gonna play with him now. Yeah, that was okay. That's very sweet. Very cute. Can't wait to see what these guys look like when they're a little bit more grown up. Oh wait, there's Lily somewhere. Okay, so she didn't do it. Awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. It is a small space. You'll notice that I added this spiral staircase here, and I made a little loft room for Lucy because it is getting quite tight downstairs. This was originally just like a 2-story room, but because they could really use the space, I turned this little space into a bedroom, and so this is where Lucy is sleeping now. This is sort of like her bedroom. And maybe, I don't know, like we'll see if this family does end up with any more kids, and maybe Lily will go up there with her as well. This will become sort of like the baby and toddler or child bedroom. And who knows, if they do well or better in their careers, it's possible that we could maybe just move them out into a better house. They don't have too much money though. Like even like their house is only worth $17,000 and they have $2,000. So it could be a bit before we're able to move them out. Like Lucy could be out of the house at that point. We'll see. She's still 10 days away from aging out, but she could go to college slightly before that, right? That's pretty much it with these guys. They're doing well, and you know, making it work. It's a little tight space, but they're having a good time. We all get along, right? No drama here. This is just wholesome sim family here. Oh, that was fast. You can just play with bed, maybe. You can just sleep. He's tired. Yeah. So there you have it. That's the Burb family. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next we have the Oldie family, and so their bio says, on the outside, the Oldies are simply one of the nicest families around. They welcomed another adopted child into their home and living a mostly peaceful life. Which is a little ominous sounding because they're this elderly couple. We know that they had adopted Mary Sue when she was a child, who has now grown and had her own family. But they went and they did it again because they were bored, I suppose. You know, they needed something to do. Coral is a family sim, so she, had that want, that maternal instinct to do something family oriented. However, Herb, on the other hand, is a romance sim, so he's had some very different wants in life. He's 54 days old, probably still a couple, or I would say at least 3 days out from expiring. He loves his wife. They have quite a good relationship, but he does also have relationships with Jan Tellerman and Nikki Zen. He met them on community lots and hit it off, and he's quite fond of Nikki. He often wants to see her, flirt with her, kiss her, so she might be his favorite. He he has seen her at least a few times. See, Coral's looking. Poor Coral. Coral, she desperately wants affection from her husband, and he's you know, browsing the web for nature. That is his one true hobby. He's been doing a bunch of that. I've got a little garden out back for him. I'm trying to get him to focus maybe a little more on that, a little less on romance, so he can be a little more faithful to his wife. May or may not have worked, hard to say. But here's Coral. She, as I mentioned, she's family sim. She likes to kiss. She wants to ask us on a date. He's telling her a dirty joke, but from what I remember, no, she liked it this time. There was a time when he told her a dirty joke, and she didn't like that. Coral has film and literature as her one true hobby, and she's written a couple books. To help kind of bring in a little bit of money and just something to do because she's unemployed. I don't think she's ever had a job. I think she's just been like a stay-at-home mom or homemaker all of her life. Herb is a retired executive, level 5, so he gets a bit of a pension, but hasn't ever rolled any wants to get a job as an elder, so he just hasn't. They have this nice little house that is just enough room for them, and yeah, they're just living a nice simple life here. This is their adopted son, Alec, and he's just a couple days out from aging up to a teen. He has the one true hobby of science. He got really lucky and discovered 2 stars like back to back, which was really cool. He's going off to school now, it seems. He is friends with Lucy. He's pretty close with like Gabrielle and Lucy, like the townies, right? Chloe Gonzaga. But that's kind of it for now. We don't really have any other kids that he's close to. He's met Betty Brogue. I'll try to get them chatting a little more at some point. That's a potential match if they that's if they roll, being straight, because there's always that chance that they could be bi or gay. With the ACR mod, he's want to grow well. He's an A student. He usually does want to do his homework, and he didn't last night, but he generally does. So he's a pretty good student. Coral has written a couple interesting books. Let's see. Read novel. Cheating Husband by Coral Oldie. She does have. Where did the second one go? I thought she put it in the bookshelf, but now I'm not seeing it. No, she definitely wrote a second book. She called it "He Doesn't Know I Know," because the thing is, there were flowers left on the doorstep here from one of his dates. Oh wait, is this it? No, never mind. That's a Nature magazine for her. She had found flowers here at the doorstep one day, and so she looked at it, and of course she was devastated because she realized or she learned that Herb had been on this amazing date with someone and that he had cheated. So she was quite angry with him, at least for a little while, and that faded. He never knew that she knew, and that's what she ended up titling her second novel. And we're talking about grandchildren. That's cute. Angela and Lilith. So the fury did eventually fade, and then they at some point autonomously did some romantic interactions, and so she got her crush back, and all that. So they kind of just went back to normal, and he thinks that he's slick, and she has no idea, but she knows. She knows something's up. She knows he's sneaking around. He occasionally, goes to community lots and and does something. She's not exactly sure, but she knows something is going on. She yeah, blog about film and literature. So I do have that mod where when they reach the top of their or when they have full enthusiasm in their hobby, they can blog and make money. So that'll be a nice little something for her to do to make some money, since she doesn't have a job or have a pension. Um, well, we'll see if Herb gets caught in the act. She's never literally caught him. She just knows that stuff has happened because of the flowers. And so that was from film and literature. So we'll see what ends up happening with these guys. I mean, he might just die, and he will do what he's been doing, and she'll just be happy to have a home and a life with him, even if he's not always faithful. And they have Alec to think about as well. They don't want to scar the poor kid, being adopted into this family, and have it fall apart, right? Um, so yeah, that's what's going on with these three. So you can see, like in the family tree, there's Herb and Oldie on top. They have Mary Sue. So Mary Sue and Alec, for all intents and purposes, they are siblings. I mean, they're adopted siblings, but they're technically, in a way, full siblings because they both share the same parents. Not biologically, but yeah, according to the family tree, they are siblings. So that's kind of funny that Mary Sue's a full adult, almost an elder, and then there's Alec, who's a kid. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Alright, and next we have the Langerak family, which is Kaylin and her baby girl Kelly. So it says, Kaylin has always wanted a family of her own, but things haven't exactly gone the way she thought they would. It seems her life will go a little backwards, and perhaps the man will come after the baby. So I moved Kaylin into Brandy's old home at 55 Woodland Drive. And it's just Kaylin and Kelly for now. Okay, so here is Kaylin. And here is Kelly and Dawn. Dawn is still here from the night before when Kelly was born. She was literally just born like less than 12 hours ago in Maine. And Kaylin didn't want to be alone for the birth, so she invited him to stay the night, and he's still here. he's still just hanging out, and so here she is. She has green eyes and black hair, so I think she might just be a little mini Dawn. She seems to have a little bit of tan skin, but then again, so does Kaylin. Um, this is their home here. If you've played the Burb family before, you know the layout. Got like the main bedroom here, bathroom, but it's only been technically a day that I've played Kaylin here in this home. She does have a want to get a job. I've locked it in, but she probably won't get that at least. We'll see. I mean, I might check just to see what's available. She currently has the lifetime want to graduate 3 children from college. So, I mean, she's got 1 right now. Hopefully she can get 2 more. Not very likely to happen with Dawn. I doubt that she'll get him to settle down. We've already tried that once. So she may be able to find somebody else that she can settle down with, and hopefully they will stick around and be faithful. I don't think that Dawn will be the one that is a constant in her life. I'm just trying to put this in, but it's being kind of wonky, right? She really needs to take care of some needs here. But yeah, Kelly is over here sleeping now. She's very cute. In her little pink outfit, I was able to get some baby clothes mod so that they're not just naked in a little diaper. She's got this cute little pink outfit on there. Kaylin's in some regular clothes now. She's not wearing the maid outfit anymore. This is just something that she had in her inventory already, the green shirt and jeans. So that's just what she's wearing for now. Maybe Donna's tucking in Kelly. That's so cute. We'll see if Kaylin ever Rose would want to get new clothes or anything like that. Yeah, so you can see here that Kaylin does not have feelings for Daniel anymore because of the fury. She still considered him a BFF, and that's kind of been it. There hasn't been too much for her happen simply because like she just became a playable character. Oh jeez, I don't even know when that fire was. That fire was neat. When was that fire? I don't recall. Oh no, I know why. It was the tree in the background. Really? That's the memory. The fire is from the tree. Oh my goodness. Okay. So she does have some memories of being with Daniel. But here you see she caught him cheating. Enemies with very soon. Was Ruhi with Dawn. They had their date not too long ago, and they woohooed a few times, and that's she did not like the dirty joke. That is when she got pregnant, sometime on that date. So that's fun. That's interesting. She's exhausted. Oh, they're gonna go the picky bag. Sure, why not? Yeah. So that's kind of been it. It'll be interesting to see if she ever repairs the relationship with Daniel. She wants to be friends with Brandy. Brandy was over yesterday, like as part of the welcome wagon, which was kind of fun because it was like Brandy revisiting her old home. Like, hey, I used to live here, and now you live here, and oh, I like what you've done with the place, and things like that, right? Gosh, we've got bottles everywhere. Let's just turn off the phone. And so, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with Kaylin and her daughter Kelly, and if anything ever happens with Dawn, if she manages to lock him in. But to be honest, like I don't count on that ever happening because Dawn is Dawn. Dawn will never settle. He's just too interested in what the world has to offer, right? So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, Kaylin has max cooking and max cleaning from when she was a maid, and so hopefully those skills will be helpful for when she does get a job, because 4K is not really a lot. Small home, only 2 people, but if she does want to have more kids or have more of a family, it would be good to have some steady income, right? She currently has hobby enthusiasm in tinkering. Well, that's her one true hobby, and I don't think that she can really make much money from that other than maybe selling like robots and stuff like that, or redoing cars. But there's no space on this lot to do anything like that. This is a smaller lot. So yeah, she'll most likely just get a job, and hopefully, when she's able to find someone, they have a job and they can help support the family, and they can grow. They can grow as a family. And Don is just washing his hands over and over again. He's been here a long time. He probably just needs a shower, but he's not autonomously doing that for some reason. Maybe once you get Kelly back in the bed. Oh geez, Kelly really needs to go to bed. Okay, so let's just plop Kelly back into her crib. Yes, I know, I'm obsessed. Then Kelly can go to bed because she's been up quite a bit. She was up during the night giving birth. I don't think she was even on a full energy at that point, so she really needs to get some sleep. That new mom exhaustion is really setting in. Alright, so here we are at Sim State University. It says Dreamer, but it's a combination of Dirk Dreamer, Dustin Brogue, Angela Pleasant, Lilith Pleasant. These four are here at the Langerak House dorms, and they've just completed their first year of college, so they've just become sophomores. I did give them a small little makeover because they aged up in some really weird stuff, and thought it would be nice if the twins finally had different hairstyles, or a little bit easier to identify them from afar, not just by their clothes, but by their hairstyles as well. Let's take a look. Okay, so here they are. They literally just walked back onto the lot from doing their exams. They they are all quite fond of each other, of their partners, and they are constantly doing romantic interactions with each other, which is very cute because obviously they were all involved with each other as teens. So that has carried over. Oh, hello. That has carried over into their young adults. Oh gosh. Yeah, they carried over into their young adult life. So I'm hoping that they do stick together, and they finish university together, and hopefully, move out and get married and have kids along the way, the whole shebang. But this is where we're at right now. They're young adults in university or in college, as sophomores. Um, Angela had rolled the wand to major in drama, so I gave that to her. Dirk had also rolled the want to get into economics, so we did that. These two, I'm not sure what happened to their wants. They had wants to major in something, but it was kind of late into their freshman year, and they had already written term papers, and I wasn't sure if changing their major would reset that progress, so I had locked it in, and for some reason now it's gone, so that's weird. Hopefully they re-roll those once, because it would be nice for them to to major in something, not just be undeclared, or get forced into, what is it, philosophy, if you don't choose for yourself. Let's get you guys inside, it's raining. Oh yeah, I just noticed that Dirk is the only one with 5 slots. Who is that? Austin is the one with the highest GPA, so it has nothing to do with GPA. That's very strange. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments what's up with that. Because I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's just like a weird glitch. Maybe it'll fix itself the next time I play them. So Angela's just gone off to class, which is great. They're just taking care of some needs right now. We have Dustin here, having some fruit punch, and so is Lilith. I'm here for a chat and a drink, and have that set up over here. You'll notice that I actually did a little bit of a renovation of the dorm. I just sort of set up the dining hall a little bit straighter with some more tables. Like the fruit punch. I put a hot tub, bubble blower, telescope. I kind of redid this area as like a bit of a study room with some bookshelves, some paintings, that's applied activity couches, some computers for studying and whatnot, and then some tables for doing assignments. Right, the rooms are essentially the same, but I did just sort of change the coloring, like the flooring a bit. I did make some of the rooms bigger because the rooms are pretty tiny, and it just would be nice to maybe have some desks or some other furniture, maybe like a wardrobe or something like that. But I did redo all the rooms. These rooms are essentially the same. See, the beds and the furniture is the same. I just wanted to give them a little bit something better to sleep on, because I find that their comfort is not great when they have those little dinky beds that the dorm originally comes from. But I guess that's college life, right? But I don't necessarily always want the gameplay to be a struggle, so I switched up the beds. Really, you guys are using the bubble blower in the rain? Your boyfriend wants to caress you. Why don't you do that? Dustin is is dancing. He's been enjoying dancing. Oh, thanks, Remington. He's been enjoying dancing while at college. His one true hobby is nature, though, so we gotta pursue that at some point. I don't know if we'll get too much at uni, but something that I'll definitely keep in mind. Dirk is here. Oh, well, that's not a good idea. I'm pretty sure, like, you've had thunder and stuff, right? You get electrocuted if you do that. Why don't you just take yourself inside? You too. You get out of here. Maybe have something to eat. Um, this is chili or is this burnt stuff? Let me see. Yeah, it's burnt stuff. Don't eat the burnt one. um, so yeah, hopefully Lilith and Dustin roll a want for a major soon. That'd be good to get the correct skills for that. I mean, Dustin's really low right now. He almost has nothing for what he really actually needs in order to progress. So, yikes. Angela, she needs, yeah, she definitely needs some more skills in order to, at the bare minimum, at least pass, right? Um, Lilith, currently undeclared. She only needs cleaning to have her bar completely full, but again, she's probably not going to stay as undeclared. I'd like to give her a major. Right? And Ashley, a cheerleader. About major? Okay. Oh, he doesn't want to do assignments and right turn paper. Ooh, I think maybe I'll lock in the right turn paper because that one's worth more, but he really needs to get some more skills before he can do that because otherwise it's just not worth it. Here comes Angela to work with her boyfriend. Lilith is also autonomously doing romantic interactions with her boyfriend. And that's kind of been it so far. They've only been here the 1 year, which is technically 2 days. I do have that mod that shortens university to 8 days total instead of 24, because that's just way too long. Way too long, way too much. So I really like that mod because it makes it a little bit easier to just get through. And because I do play rotationally, I don't want it to take forever over here while the rest of the neighborhood progresses. It just makes a little more sense. And so because I do generally treat 1 day as 1 year, I did play both days of their freshman year at once so that it's still, kind of considered 1 year. So that's just what made the most sense to me. I'm gonna play with you, Dirk. What's everyone else doing? Okay, he went to class. Angela is at the floor. At least it's not raining anymore, right? I keep confusing this guy with Dirk because they both have blonde hair, but like the same hairstyle. So every once in a while, I see this Victor guy walk by, and I'm like, is that Dustin? And but no, it's that guy. No, it's raining. Okay, let's get out of the rain. Wait. We've got a stinky dormy. I should get that mod that fixes that. There's something that helps with that. Oh, disgusting. So yeah, that's pretty much it for these guys. Lacey is eating raw or burnt food and she's disgusted with it. I don't blame you. Yeah, I think that's all there is to say about these guys. There's still 3 years left. I don't think Alexander or Lucy will be joining them before they finish. I have a feeling they'll be done by the time that they are going to be going to university. So that'll be just a whole other round of university when they join. And so that is my Pleasantview 10 years later. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you, what you've enjoyed about this playthrough so far. If you've been watching my little sort of mini series, I've been posting these as shorts so far, basically just day by day, how everyone's been doing their thing. But yeah, it's been 10 years and we've had a lot of progress and a lot of different things happening and going on, so it's been really fun and really interesting to see how it progressed. Obviously, it's different for everyone, but this is how it's turned out for me. So please, like, subscribe, do all the things, because, your support is really helpful to encourage me to keep going. And I'm having a lot of fun with this. So if you're enjoying it too, please let me know, and I'll keep going. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.